Now this week's tutorial video is a very traditional symmetric arrangement. If this is something that you would like to learn, then keep watching today's video. Welcome back to another tutorial. Now today I'm going to do a long and low arrangement, which you're normally used to seeing in the center of a table, but this time I'm going to do it front facing, so it would suit an alcove or a window. You could put it on the altar, but rather than you seeing it from both sides, it's going to be more attractive from one side, so we would call that front facing. But instead of doing it like a triangle or an oval shape arrangement, I'm going to do it low down and horizontal. And I'm going to use the same flowers that we've seen in two previous videos, but this time I'm going to cut them a bit shorter. And I might even do this in a grouped style. I haven't quite decided. Now I've got a little bit of hole in the front of my foam there, and that was because I started filming before I'd switched the camera on. But I've got half a block of foam in the center of my container, and my two candles are going to come towards the back. Now I'm a bit disappointed by these silver candles because the paint is wearing off them slightly. So if you are buying candles, my tip for today would be to maybe look for ones that are better quality. They weren't cheap candles, but you can see the silver paint is wearing off where I've been knocking them back and forth. So that's my middle of the foam. Now what I need to do is to bring some greenery or some materials out towards the side. And I'm going to start with this lovely cedar. Now this is such a gorgeous texture. It's a really Christmassy greenery. And I'm going to come back in the foam this time. So normally when we do a all-round arrangement or a long and low arrangement, we start in the middle. But because I'm making this front facing, I'm going to bring it more towards the back in line with the candles. And what I will do at the end is fill that in with greenery, or I might do it as I'm going along. I'm not going to overthink whether these two pieces are identical. And I did say, I think at the beginning, I might do this group. And now I'm not quite sure of my decision. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. So this one now is hemlock. This is western hemlock, and this is going to help reinforce the width of the design. And then some shorter pieces of this gorgeous cedar just bring out towards the front. And I'm radiating all my stems away from a center point in that quite traditional manner. And from the previous tutorial videos that I've done, I've got lots of these short pieces of greenery. So these are going to come nicely towards the middle, still radiating away from the center, just to help cover my floral foam. And you will have heard me mention, hopefully several times by now, if you're using a candle, don't come up too far on the side of the candle because you're creating a fire risk. These little pieces have only just come out of foam from the previous arrangement I did. So if I'm not cutting them, it's because they've come straight out of floral foam or water. I don't want anybody accusing me of not cutting my stems before putting them in the foam. Then I just need a couple of shorter pieces of the cedar to come up towards the middle. Whatever's on the edge ideally wants to come towards the middle. And if you're new to floral design, it's really important that the back of your floral foam is covered as well. One of the quickest ways of that drying out is to not cover it because the water will evaporate away much quicker. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. My name is Sharon. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial, and like and share. If you pop over to the website, there's loads of online courses, there's some downloadable PDF documents that will explain principles and elements of design. And there's also a couple of different courses on there that will really help you understand basic floral design. So I've made a fairly symmetrical shape. The length on either side is similar, and I've brought it to a point in the front which gives us that really traditional shape. Now I'm going to start putting in my fresh flowers, and I do have two spray carnations, and these are going to work quite nicely on the edge. Now what I am going to do is to cut them to a similar length. These have been used in a previous design, So that's the longest I can make them because I'd already cut them previously. But that helps to reinforce the outline shape. Small flowers come to the outside and larger flowers towards the middle. You won't always have the option to do that, but that's the best way of creating a design that's pleasing to the eye. And then this lovely little birch twig has been sprayed in artificial snow. I did discover yesterday that this isn't waterproof. So if you're using anything that's got snow or spray paint on it, test it first to see whether or not it's suitable to be outside. Not that this arrangement is going outside, but just bear in mind that if you're using anything that's dyed or spray painted, you need to be careful with it if it's coming in contact with water. So what I've done with these lovely little branches is just added some to the length and round towards the front because it's helping to create a lovely shape. Now the biggest flowers that I've got are these amazing chrysanthemum blooms. And what a lot of people tend to do when they're beginners is they put them on the outside because they think that they're the most important flowers. But what that does is it draws your eye towards the outside. Big flowers should be more towards the middle. And even though I said in the beginning I wasn't going symmetrical, I think I've changed my mind. And I'm now going to have a big chrysanthemum bloom in the middle. I did say when I started these short videos for Christmas that I was going to make them quite basic so everybody could attempt something for Christmas. So by creating a very symmetrical pattern, it's probably going to help the beginners more than me doing something modern and grouped. Now something that really does drive me mad when you buy a supermarket bench is that chrysanthemum bloom is a different variety to that one, so they don't match. Is anybody going to notice? I hope not. Because what I'm now going to do is put this on the opposite side. We have a bloom in the middle to create our focal point. And then we have two chrysanthemums either side. And what I haven't done with these is face them forward. We put them in sideways, so as we move to the outside, the flower heads get smaller. We don't want them to be facing forward like two giant headlights. Now I have gorgeous white roses, and what I think I'm going to do with these is place them either side of my center point. Now this is really almost flower arranging by numbers. What I've done on the left, I've repeated on the right. Again, we're not facing them forward, we're facing them out in a diagonal position. And what I'm going to do with the white rose that's left over, because these flowers came in sets of 3, is I'm going to arrange it at the back here so it creates some depth. That's going to draw your eye backwards and add in a little bit of extra height to the arrangement there at the back. And then my Ami majors, if I can find 2 that are quite similar, they can come in the gap here at the back. Now this very formal pattern is not my favourite way of arranging flowers, because if you think about how things grow in nature, they don't come in these matching symmetrical patterns. We don't see things growing in nature. Oh, that one doesn't want to go where I want it to go. We don't find things in nature that are matching on either side of a centre line. But this type of arranging can sometimes be easier to explain to those of you that are new to floral design. And then the smallest of the Ami majors can come between the 2 roses more towards the front. And that then is all of my flowers. Now this supermarket bunch did come with a lily, but I've decided not to use it, and mainly because this focal chrysanthemum here is really quite large, so I'll keep that and use it in another design. Now what's happened is we've ended up, we need something in this area here because the height of the rose is taller than anything else. And what I'm hoping will work quite well is the silver twigs, and I can do 2 clusters on either side, trying to make them as visually matching as possible. And that extends the height slightly at the back, but blends in with my rose. And then because I have the silver at the back, we now need to bring it somewhere towards the front, because we don't want it just appearing at the back of the arrangement, we need to incorporate it all the way through. Unfortunately, I had quite a few stems in that bunch. And this bunch was only £3 from the supermarkets, but it is really quite good value for money. But I have mentioned many times, it's very easy to spray your own twigs. You just need to find some from your garden or go out for a walk and forage for some. And even though I wasn't going to make a symmetrical design at the beginning, I now have the opportunity to add in the 2 stars either side of the candles, which is definitely going to make that arrangement more symmetrical. But a fantastic one for total beginners. And I've made the decision to move that rose forward. Now you might have been shouting that at me all the way through the video, telling me that you don't like that rose at the back, but I'm going to move him towards the front, and now I'm more happier. So that is my very symmetrical design. If you split it down the middle, there's exactly the same flowers on one side to the other. For me, it makes the design quite stiff and not as free-flowing and as natural as I like. But I know from the feedback I get in the comments in the box that lots of you like this really symmetrical pattern. So hopefully that will inspire you to create something for Christmas. Remember that this is one supermarket mixed bunch with some silver twigs, also from the supermarket, and some seasonal greenery, a couple of candles and 2 gorgeous snowflakes at the back. So it's something that is achievable for everybody. If you've enjoyed the tutorial and you've liked the series building up to Christmas, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial video. Thanks as ever for watching. I look forward to seeing you for the next video very soon. Merry Christmas and bye for now.